13 years ago, in the fall of 1999, my Shadyside Academy journey began with the first day of kindergarten at the junior school. That first day was, in a single word, horrifying. It is strange to think that in a school building so vibrant with the energy of students and teachers, I could feel so alone. And yet, on that first day, without my parents or my brother, surrounded by strangers, I felt a loneliness that was both paralyzing and unbearable. Shadyside Academy was the last place that I wanted to be on that day. I started sobbing uncontrollably and cried so much that my parents had to return to the junior school before the end of the school day to take me home. Today is the conclusion of my journey through Shadyside, and it's very possible that I might shed tears again, but for a very different reason. This time, I wish that I did not have to leave this truly incredible place. What has changed in 13 years, you might ask? Well, I have gone on a journey with 127 other amazing individuals. I used to believe that what mattered most in everything was where you finished. Did you get an A on the bio test? Did you get the lead in the play? Were you elected class president? Did you win? Did you lose? I do not believe that anymore. In my mind, what really matters most is not passing all of your classes, getting high grades, going to a good college, or even graduating. I've learned that what really matters is the journey that leads to those results. One of my favorite quotes comes from the great American tennis player, Arthur Ashe, who said, quote, "Success is a journey, not a destination. The doing is often more important than the outcome," end quote. What makes the past 13 years special is not the diploma that we in the class of 2012 will receive today, but rather our journey that has led to it. Ours is a journey that began when the 29 lifers in this class of 2012 stepped through those welcoming doors at the junior school in 1999. 29 is a large number of lifers for a graduating class, and we are remarkable not only for our size, but for our kind hearts and strong bonds of friendship. Together, we delivered the last kindergarten marionette performance for the great Mrs. Highlands. We took on the roles of Greek classical figures in the Greek Museum, and we saved Montserrat from a hurricane, an earthquake, and about 5 other apocalyptic disasters in our 5th grade simulation. We also had our fair share of transitions at the junior school. By transitions, I refer primarily to the revolving door of the head of school office. We used to say that our class was cursed because each year something would happen and a new head would be ushered in the following year. But maybe we just wore those heads of school down with all of Max Kaplan's trips to the blue chair. Of course, our final head, Miss Little, never left. She has remained a fixture at the junior school, and we are sad to think about the Shadyside community without her as she begins her retirement. Miss Little, we wish you all the best. In the middle school, our class doubled in size, and as budding 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, we learned what it meant to have homework, lots of homework. I still maintain to this day that 7th and 8th grade English were the toughest classes that I have taken at Shadyside. It was all about discipline at the middle school. In those English classes, we learned to always follow to the letter the 5-paragraph outline for fear of facing the wrath of Miss Banwell's red pen. We weren't just worried about red pens, though. We were required each day to bring to class 5 highlighters, 1 yellow, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 pink, and 1 orange, specifically those colors. I'm still not sure why. If you did not bring those highlighters, you were banished from class. and directed to sit in the library. And I remember Campbell Nielsen, time and time again, being sent down to the welcoming arms of Mrs. Ashworth in the library. We also learned to respect authority for fear of being given a detention point. I will never forget receiving one of these feared points in the first week of 6th grade. After Danny Peterson asked about the difficulty of a math quiz, I told him that he'd be fine as long as he knew his vocabulary. Somehow, Miss Fravel overheard our conversation, and later that day, she gave me a point and a stern talking to about cheating. I may have felt that I did not deserve a detention point for my action, but my mouth was forever silent when it came to tests and quizzes after that. Maybe our most memorable years have been the past 4, spent on this truly beautiful campus. Our class has grown in the course of these 4 years, from wide-eyed freshmen into seasoned seniors. In the process, we have managed to navigate the sea of challenges put before every Shadyside class. We have conquered the classroom, absorbing the words of Shakespeare, solving the toughest of calculus problems, and completing that infamous U.S. history paper. We have taken the stage by storm, in concerts, plays, and musicals at the Hillman Center. And we have championed the athletic fields, as we have played and been victorious in magical games under the lights and Friday nights on the ice. Moreover, in these past 4 years, we have completed what Will Rappel sagely called a great social experiment. We have tried new pursuits and regretted not trying others. We have triumphed at times and failed many times over. However, we have learned those valuable lessons that maybe only 4 years of high school can teach you. Ironically, perhaps the most valuable thing that I have come to know in these 4 years is that I still know very little. Sitting in Mr. Tony's multivariable calculus classes earlier this year and listening to perplexing discussions of the fourth dimension have certainly humbled me in this way. But it's not just that I am not an expert in math. This year, I have realized that in truth, I know almost nothing of sorrow, happiness, hate, love, death, or life itself. I have found answers during my time at Shadyside, but from every answer, 10 new questions have been born. It is daunting to think that there is so much that I do not know or understand, and yet it is also liberating and exciting to realize that there is still so much to be learned and so many more questions to be answered. Clearly, through this 13-year odyssey, we have been to some magical places and done some great things. What I believe has made this journey truly special, though, are the people who have been a part of it. And as I think of those who have been a part of this journey, I think that it makes sense to start with the people without whom none of this would be possible. Our parents and families are the reasons that we are here. They have supported us through thick and thin, and they have taught us lessons of unconditional love that could never have been learned in a classroom. Today, and for many days, months, and years to come, we thank our parents and families completely from the bottom of our hearts, knowing full well that the gift of the education that they have given us cannot truly be repaid. Similarly, this journey would not be possible without the great teachers that we have had at Shadyside. Just as we are indebted to our parents, we are equally grateful to our teachers. Shadyside teachers are truly remarkable for their investment in students, whether that means spending extra time with us outside of class to help us master difficult concepts, or pouring their hearts into sports and extracurricular activities. Shadyside teachers devote themselves to all of us. I can think of countless examples, whether it's Miss Whitney listening to this speech time and time again in the past 2 weeks and helping me to make sure it wasn't too insufferable, or Mr. Ashworth journeying out to the Otopi Cafe to try new Indian dishes for dinner with Sarthak Degay, Shamika Degay, Naveen Menon, and myself. Furthermore, our teachers travel with us through our emotional highs and lows. 3 weeks ago, when we lost our final tennis match in the state championship, I was heartbroken, burned by the fierce sting of defeat, and pained at the knowledge that I had played my final high school team tennis match. I will never forget walking off the court with Mr. Miller and watching him shed a tear as I did the same. For me, it was proof, though I did not need it, of the unique dedication and devotion of Shadyside teachers, not to money, not to personal glory, but rather to the success and growth of their students. For everything they have given us, we must thank our teachers, and we especially thank those who will leave with us: Mr. Frank McCarthy, Ms. Christine Shapleski, Dr. Judith Sanders, Mr. Terrence Parham from the middle school, and Mrs. Christine Holt and Mr. William Sauer from the junior school. But the drivers of this journey are the members of this class of 2012. And what a truly outstanding group this is. We will certainly be remembered for our many accomplishments. We will be remembered for our athletic prowess. We have track and cross-country stars in Emily Lamb and Jack Bagmary. We have an ace pitcher in Ben Hartz. We have amazing rowers like Jenna Hebert, field hockey game changers like Aaron Gorse, and lacrosse players who will continue at the next level like Alexis Concordia and Pat Callahan. We have one of the best golfers in the country in Kendall Allen, and we have developed our own recipe for scoring soccer goals that starts with a healthy dose of cheddar. And of course, Reggie Mitchell will always be the quarterback of our class, even if he plays corner next year at Wisconsin. Let us not forget our artists, though. We are fortunate to have amongst us creative minds who have shined at the Benedum Visual Arts Center, like Kelly Remo and Greg Hardy. And then there's Rowdy Canarak, Tori Santucci, and Alex Nelson, who truly are incredibly suave. We also have leaders and self-sacrificing individuals like Grant Zencraft. Grant is joining the United States Naval Forces and embarking on that most noble of pursuits, the service of our country. Our class has also been graced by the eloquence of Uvi and David Steiner, who through their editorials in these final months have been courageous to share their thoughts in the school newspaper and have had an impact on Shadyside through the power of the written word. What I will remember more than any accomplishment, though, is the good-hearted nature of this class. This is a class that supports its members and the Shadyside community as a whole. We are definitely not perfect, but this is a class full of upstanding individuals who continually impress me. In 13 years, I have witnessed innumerable acts of kindness between members of this class, and I will remember this class for these acts, which though often small, are so pure. I will forever remember Ethan Kiliani taking an extra 10 minutes after assemblies to hold the doors of Row Hall open for everyone to enter. I will forever remember Alexa Miller happily greeting everyone she saw in the halls with a big smile and a cheery wave. I will forever remember Betsy Vucinich baking brownies and cookies for anyone in the math office. I wish that I could stand up here and extol all of the beautiful things that each member of this class has done, but I fear that I would be speaking forever. Let it suffice to say that I have considered it the highest honor and pleasure to have called the members of this tremendous group my classmates. Today, our journey draws to a close, and we celebrate our arrival at the end. However, as much as we honor our arrival at that end, we should also cherish all of the places that we have been and the memories that we have formed. To the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, enjoy your adventures through Shadyside. And seniors, as we start our next journey, let us savor them. It is easy sometimes, when you are on a long car ride, to close your eyes and to try to sleep until you reach your destination. But I truly believe that if you do not look out of the windows and soak in all there is to see, you never really go that far from where you started. So let us never get so caught up in arriving that we never really depart. And let us not worry about starting a new journey with tears, for truly great journeys, they take you to unexpected places and leave you tearful at their conclusion. Thank you.